Mehmet Akif Ersoy was born in the city of Istanbul in the year 1873, during the final years of the Ottoman Empire. He was an influential writer that used his pen as a vehicle for reform during the late Ottoman and early Turkish periods. During his youth, Mehmet Akif completed his Islamic education at the Al-Fatih Mosque, where he memorized the Quran and mastered the Arabic, Turkish, and Persian languages. Due to his intellectual curiosity, he later studied modern education and also mastered the French language. In 1893, Mehmet Akif was employed by the Ottoman Ministry of Agriculture. His job in the Ottoman government allowed him to travel across the empire, from the Balkans to Syria, all the way to the heart of the Arabian Peninsula. During his travels, Mehmet Akif documented his journeys and translated local Arabic poetry into the Turkish language. Mehmet Akif appreciated the linguistic and cultural diversity of the Muslim world. He translated the works of Arab poets such as Ibn al-Farid and Persian poets such as Sadi Shirazi into the Turkish language. After extensively traveling across different regions of the Ottoman Empire, Mehmet Akif began to document the grievances of poor citizens who were fed up with their harsh living conditions. By the year 1895, Mehmet Akif began publishing articles in Ottoman magazines such as Hazine Funun and Resimli Gazette. In these articles, Mehmet Akif openly criticized the regime of the Ottoman Sultan Abdul Hamid II and called for political reforms. In 1908, Mehmet Akif joined the University of Istanbul as a professor of Ottoman literature, and he later established his own magazine known as Sirat al-Mustaqim, in which he published articles calling for reforms and Islamic unity. During this period, many political parties with different ideologies had been formed in opposition to Sultan Abdul Hamid. The most popular of these parties was the Committee of Union and Progress. Mehmet Akif was against the Committee of Union and Progress, who had a racist and Turkish nationalist ideology influenced by Europe. Although Mehmet Akif was a Turk, he rejected nationalism and called for unity between all races of the Ottoman Empire. In his newspaper, Mehmet Akif Ersoy promoted unity, and he even published articles written by Arab Ottoman intellectuals such as the Egyptian Sheikh Muhammad Abdu. However, after a military coup led by the Committee of Union and Progress overthrew Sultan Abdul Hamid in 1909, Mehmet Akif's newspaper, known as Sirat al-Mustaqim, was shut down by the new Ottoman government. Mehmet Akif resigned from the Ottoman civil service in May 1913. Shortly after resigning from the Ottoman Ministry of Agriculture, Mehmet Akif wrote an article openly criticizing the Turkish nationalist ideology of the new Ottoman government. In this article, he wrote the following: O community of Muslims, you are neither Arabs, nor Turks, nor Balkans, nor Kurds, nor Circassians. You are only individuals in one nation, which is the Islamic nation. and the more you preserve Islam, the more you will succeed. When World War I broke out, Western powers such as Britain and France began to use the internal divisions within the Ottoman Empire in order to weaken the caliphate and destroy it from within. The British had begun collaborating with Arab leaders in Hijaz in order to plan a full-scale revolt against the Ottoman rule. Therefore, Mehmet Akif continued to call for Islamic unity and continued speaking out against the Ottoman government's policy of marginalizing non-Turkish citizens. In 1915, Mehmet Akif traveled to Arabia to counter British propaganda among the Arab tribes that urged them to revolt against the Ottoman Empire. Mehmet Akif called on the Arabs not to revolt and reassured them that the Turks were their Muslim brothers and would listen to their grievances. In 1920, Mehmet Akif went back to Anatolia to join Mustafa Kemal Ataturk and his national struggle against the Greek, French, and British invasion. Mehmet Akif gave sermons and speeches in the Zaganos Pasha Mosque, calling on Muslims to unite and resist the invasion. After the creation of the Republic of Turkey and the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, Mehmet Akif was elected as the member of the new Turkish parliament. Mehmet Akif wanted the new Turkish Republic to be governed based on Islamic principles, and he opposed blind imitation of the West. Mehmet Akif wanted to continue the same legacy of cultural harmony and diversity that existed for centuries in the Ottoman Empire. He often clashed with influential Turkish politicians and members of parliament and openly expressed his views. Mehmet Akif disagreed with Ziya Gökalp's ideology of Turkish superiority, and he also clashed with Tawfik Fikret regarding the westernization of Turkish literature. Mehmet Akif was so influential in the Turkish parliament that one of his poems was used as the official national anthem of Turkey. However, shortly after coming to power, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk abolished the caliphate, began pursuing anti-Islamic policies, and started cracking down on his political opponents. Therefore, Mehmet Akif resigned from the Turkish parliament and began speaking out against Ataturk's despotic regime. However, all of Mehmet Akif's newspapers were shut down and he was constantly harassed by Turkish intelligence. After seeing Ataturk's pro-Western and anti-Islamic policies, such as the banning of the call to prayer and the outlawing of the Ottoman hat, Mehmet Akif chose to leave Turkey and took refuge in Egypt, where he became a teacher of Turkish language and literature at Fuad University in Cairo. During his time in Egypt, Mehmet Akif wrote many books, including a modern Turkish language translation of the Holy Quran and a large collection of Islamic poetry. In the year 1935, after 10 years of living in Egypt, Mehmet Akif left for Lebanon and then eventually returned to Istanbul, where he passed away on December 27, 1936.